Hello, hello, hello. It is day 11 of 30 of my talking to the camera journey. And I gotta say, I was really looking forward to this video today. I feel some type of gravitational pull towards doing this now. When originally my thought behind giving myself this challenge was, oh, let's just create some videos and see where it goes. But something flipped last night where I started thinking about my approach to talking on camera. Instead of thinking of talking to the camera, now I'm thinking my frame of reference is different, meaning I no longer just talk to my smartphone, which is literally on a stand in front of me, but now I perceive almost like a crowd of people in front of me, or even just one main person in front of me who may need to hear what I'm saying, even though, like previous videos, there's not typically a topic that I'm going off of. It's not well structured. I'm literally just going quantity and just speaking what's on the heart. But I started thinking the process of actually creating these videos, what kept going on in my mind is if someone comes across this, even one person who maybe at home or in their life, they don't have someone they feel comfortable speaking what's on their heart or being vulnerable or sharing certain stories or even feeling like there's someone in their corner that they could speak to or listen to pick up insights from. And if someone picks up an insight from me, even though sometimes I'm rambling, sometimes I'm just speaking on something random, then I've done a beautiful thing in the world. And that there's no more gratifying feeling than doing something like that in the service of other people. So that's what I was thinking of as I've reached over the 30, not 30, over the 33% mark of the 30-day challenge. So, anyways, that being said, something that was weighing on my mind was this concept of mastery, but more so the foundations to get to mastery and what typically stops people. In my mind, as I just picked up doing something called rope flow, which definitely well worth a Google or YouTube. But the thing for me was I've always been kind of stiff. When I started weightlifting way back in junior high, I think I was like 12 or 13 or whatever, playing football. A lot of the weightlifting was very bodybuilder esque. So what I mean by that, it was a lot of like static movements, whether it be like bench press, your deadlift, um, lunge patterns were good as far as the functionality of it, but things of that nature. And it was very much so ego lifting, at least for me at the time. And so yesterday, I think I was talking about the idea of yoga and how I got away from that and how I was so stiff in my upper body. And right now, after doing a rope flow session outside on the fifth floor of my garage, I feel so loose. But why I was getting into that was just because when it came to like rotation and how my body feels when I'm running or walking, I started to learn after following a couple people on this topic that if the spine isn't doing what it's supposed to from left to right, then your limbs, your arms and your legs don't get the extension and flexion and rotation that they need to. So you end up almost moving like like a cinder block. You're like a cinder block. Why am I thinking of Minecraft for some reason? Anyways, but the concept of the foundation of mastery is I think back to being on the playground, K through 6, and how as kids we have this urge to just go try things. So say you see someone bouncing a basketball or kicking a soccer ball, or maybe you see them on the monkey bars. Your initial thought is, oh, that looks fun. Let me go try it. And you go try it without any thought of failure or what you might look like or if someone's going to ridicule you. We're not thinking that way. We get the idea. a sense of joy pops up and we go try it. If we fail, we don't really get the concept of failure in that sense. So it's not strong enough to stop us. So we go do. And so thinking about that as time's gone on and we grow to be adults, our concept of that shifts. Where say you want to take, I don't know, dancing lessons, or you're at a get together, you see people dancing, you're like, you start to get this smile subconsciously on your face, and you see people doing it, and you're thinking, oh, I want to go dance, but there's something in your head that goes, but I'm not good at that. I couldn't do that anyway. Like, where does that even come from? And so, rope flow, the concept of bringing that into my life, I actually just recorded myself doing some attempts while watching a tutorial on YouTube. And even getting to the point of tying the knot on the end of the rope, as elementary as that may seem, I never had a lot of experience with that at all. I was watching a tutorial of tying the rope on YouTube and I could not get it down. I swear it took me like 45 minutes and I thought of giving up multiple times. But I didn't. I kept pressing on because I really wanted to get the rope flow process going. And so when I was outside doing it, I was messing up a ton. Like the rope kept hitting my legs. My arms just couldn't get coordinated. And I found myself, as I was switching from side to side, doing this motion, my spine was not moving at all. It was like cement. Like my arms were doing the motion. And I noticed as my arms kept doing the motion instead of my spine turning, that was when I was hitting myself. And so I started to realize with this thought of just moving towards mastery of something, I very much could have just stopped at my frustration of even tying the rope the way it needed to be held for the handles. Or I could have stopped when I kept hitting myself because I was doing it in a public space. I'm sure someone saw me doing it, and I probably looked like an idiot from the outside looking in. But when you really think about it, no one cares. Everybody's got their own thing going on. So it was like, why would that even stop me in the first place? Even to the point of me taking years to eventually take my first improv class, which was back last year, November, which I was pushing off forever because I was just thinking about what would the stage fright feel like? Or what would people say if they found out I was doing improv? Like, who's this John guy think he is trying to get his creativity going or thinking that he's funny or whatever it is? Which all of those thoughts just came from up here. No one said anything about that ahead of time. And I don't know, the idea of just judging ourselves so much from even taking that first step. And without taking that first step, you're never going to get on the pathway of mastery of something that you may find that you enjoy. So that thought ultimately makes me think of many other things to apply that to. If there's something in life that you have a remote interest in at all, like why not try it out? Give it a shot the first time. Yeah, you're probably gonna look or feel stupid, but if we could recall our first time as babies attempting to crawl and then stand and then walk, imagine if we just the first time we fell down from walking as a little kid, if we just were like, no, this isn't for me anymore. It's ridiculous, right? So it's the same concept. Like why stop yourself from trying something that you might find is very enjoyable? Like if you're somebody right now who you feel like, oh, I don't have hobbies. All I do is I go to work, I get off work, I put on Netflix, and there ain't nothing wrong with Netflix. There's some good stuff on there. But I put on a show and then that's it, and rinse and repeat. And then you kind of start to feel like, wait, like I'm not feeling fulfilled. Every day feels like Groundhog's Day. I don't think that's a way to live. So something you maybe been putting off, go try it. Try it, see how it feels, and give it a few tries before you say, oh, this definitely isn't for me. Because even having that story to your life where you could Now, in a conversation, someone brings up that concept of what you tried. I don't know, maybe I'm at a workout in the future and so I see someone doing rope flow, or someone's talking about how they're so stiff when they move through life or whatever it may be. That's going to spark a memory to me of my concept of why I even started doing rope flow in the first place. And that's a conversation point. By default, it'll make you seem more interesting to that person, but also you'll be more interested by default to that other individual too, with something you might be able to help them through. So that was a thought on my mind that I wanted to speak on. And yeah, it's been fun. And this speaking to the camera has been a lot more fun too. I'm no longer even thinking about in the first video or two that I posted along this 30-day challenge about the the ahs, the verbal pauses. I'm not thinking about it. Now I'm just flowing and letting whatever comes out come out. So yeah, if you're listening to this, thanks for even tuning in, sharing some of your precious, valuable time. And if you got something out of this, hopefully it inspires you to take that action towards something that you might have been putting off and really realize that life is like a playground if you decide to see it that way. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Until tomorrow.